Hey, what is up guys? How's it going? This is Fergie here back from A Squad Gaming, and today I am happy to bring you guys another video guide over Ori and the Blind Forest. Of course, we are specifically covering the Definitive Edition in all of these guides, and this video in particular is going to be covering all of the new major changes in the Definitive Edition of Ori and the Blind Forest. Of course, this edition was created after the huge success of the original, so therefore we've been given a lot of new things in this version of the game that open up a lot of new opportunities, a lot of different ways to play, and make things a little bit easier once we're inside as far as getting around and other things like that. So in this video, we're going to highlight from big to small all of the major changes in this version of the game and why exactly you should pick this up over the original. Now, the first major change in the Definitive Edition is the incorporation of two new gigantic areas. Now, if we're familiar with the storyline, for those of you who have played already, we know that we have the character Naru in the beginning of the game who actually takes care of us and brings us back to life after we fall from the spirit tree. Now, we also know that she passes away very early on in the game as well. However, these two areas highlight her entire backstory, her life, how she came to be, and what exactly made her the way she is. These areas, not only from being very based upon the story, also open up a lot of new different challenges and experiences and different ways to play the game, along with a couple new abilities we will talk about very soon. Now, Blackroot Burrows is primarily dark at the beginning, which you will see very early on, and eventually we will be able to light up the entire area through carrying around this little spirit light cell or whatever you want to consider that to be. And eventually, once we light up this area and we progress through the game a little bit more, we'll be able to work our way into the Lost Grove. And that's really how this works, is you can do the first part early on in the game and the second part a little bit later on once you unlock a few new abilities. However, all of it is going to be based around the basic storyline, and it's also going to open up some new places to collect different types of ability cells, life cells, energy cells, and things like that. Now, the Lost Grove, on the other hand, looks very, very different as far as its art style goes. In this area, once we unlock the new ability, which we will talk about here in a little bit, we can progress all the way down and find several new other challenges which we can progress through in order to unlock the full secrets of this area. And once we complete both of these, basically you've completed the backstory and you're going to understand things a little bit better, actually a lot more than you would have if you just kind of played the original version and play through the ending and do things like that. So that's really one of the main reasons they've incorporated these areas, is to help us further understand the characters in the game, why they are the way they are, and their backstories in general. Now, if we look at the art, like I said, in the Lost Grove, it's a lot brighter, a lot more lit up. It's kind of like a little tropical beach sort of area. It's actually one of my favorites in the game. It's really cool. I wish it was a little bit longer. However, I know it is just an addition. So that being said, I think it serves its purpose well, and I really, really do enjoy both of these new areas, and I think you guys will too. Now on to the next set of major changes, we have the incorporation of two new special abilities. Now here, like I said, familiar with the game, you'll know that we have, I think it's 8 abilities in the regular version of the game. However, we have 2 new additions in this version called Dash and Light Burst. And both of these are very, very interesting, are going to help us in a lot of different situations, are really kind of utility based, but are very, very important in a lot of different ways. They're going to help us out quite a bit. Now, Dash in particular is learned right when you finish Blackroot Burrows. Once you light it up, like I said, you could do earlier, and you're going to unlock the ability to travel forward very quickly and very excessively over and over again and get around much quicker. Eventually, you will also unlock the ability to use this in the air, which makes it even more useful. There are some of the boss battles in this game which I didn't think I'd be able to do without Dash, and I didn't actually know that Dash was only particular to this version until I read that later on. Now, the second major ability unlock we have is called Light Burst, and this allows us to hold LB and point at different areas around the map and throw this little ball of light, kind of like the ones that we carry around the map in certain parts of the game. This is going to kind of trigger these special lanterns that are new, obviously, all over the map, and are going to unlock many different secrets, ability points, and spirit light as well, which is going to obviously help us progress towards spirit points. We can also use them to attack special enemies, open special doors, and it's one of the primary abilities we're going to be using down in the Lost Grove and Blackroot Burrows, because of course it's new, and it's one of the main places they can really incorporate this into the story without changing the rest of the game. Otherwise, like I said, this ability is very utility and can be used in a lot of different places, not only for attacking, but to access new secrets throughout the rest of the story, which are not normally there in the original version. So these two abilities are both very, very cool. I think they're very special, and if you get them as early as you can in the game, I think you can get them both at about the halfway point. You can really put them to their full use and use them to their full potential, and it should help you out quite a bit. Now, another smaller addition that I think you're all still going to enjoy very much is the incorporation of fast traveling. Now, if we're familiar with Spirit Wells in the original version, we know that we can go to these and replenish our energy, our health, and save. However, in this version, the Definitive Edition, we can use these same Spirit Wells to warp or fast travel between each other. And this is going to make getting around the world much easier. Especially after we've beaten the main game, we can use this to go around and collect all the different things we might not have picked up through our original playthrough and things like that, if you're into the whole 100% ordeal. Other than that, really, this just lets you get around quicker if you need to backtrack or even progress through different parts of the story, and I think it's a very good addition that's going to be very helpful, getting through the story a little bit quicker and a little bit easier. Now, another smaller addition is the incorporation of different difficulties within the game, and this ranges from easy to normal to hard and to 1 life. Now, easy is more based for players who want to focus completely on the story and just progress the game, look at the art, see the colors and things like that. Whereas progressing through normal and hard, things get a little more difficult and enemies do a little bit more damage. However, they're all very, very doable and you can still enjoy the game very much. It's not going to be a total grinder even on hard difficulty. 1 life, on the other hand, is going to be a grinder, and it is as it sounds. You only have 1 life to get through the entire game, and if you slip up anywhere, the game is over. I haven't given this much of a shot yet. I actually did, and I died very early on. But if any of you do manage to get this done, please let me know down in the comments section. The final major addition to the Definitive Edition is the Theater mode, and this is going to unlock the ability for us to watch all cutscenes, look behind the scenes, watch promotional videos, and look at concept art. All these different categories have got very, very interesting videos and screenshots within them that show us really the development process of the game and how exactly they put something this beautiful together. It's going to show very basic developing videos and things like that that start from scratch and work their way all the way up to the beauty of the finishing product. Now, this also allows you to go back and watch any cutscene that you've played throughout the game once you unlock them and kind of relive the moments as opposed to going back and replaying the whole game just to watch that cutscene. So that's also very, very interesting. Finally, the promotional videos and the concept art just give us another look at how they designed the art style of this game, what their progression was to getting to that point, and how exactly they got there. I think Theater mode is very, very interesting for those of us who are larger fans of the series. I, for one, am one after playing through it, and I like this feature very much. Alright guys, so that just about sums things up. I would like to thank you all very much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this guide and that it was also informative. I highly, highly recommend this game if you haven't played it or if you don't have it already, especially the Definitive Edition. It adds a lot more to the story, to the backstory, and gives us a lot more to do within the game as well. So that being said, I want to thank you all for watching once again. I hope this was helpful, and we will see you all next time back at A Squad Gaming with more Ori and the Blind Forest video guides.